join me on a nice lazy drive on a French country road. Lazy for now, we'll pick it up in a minute on the pace lap at Rouen, the great French circuit, driving the Corvette C3R against a full field of other Corvettes and Porsches, I think 26 cars, 27 cars, something like that, and a 20-minute race in front of us. I've been doing this a bunch tonight. It's been a lot of fun. I don't usually drive the Corvette in this pairing, but the Corvette around this track is quite the handful, and this is Rouen in Automobilista 2, but Ryza have not released a new track. It is a conversion from Project Cars. It's a bit of a gray area, but those tracks are just collecting dust in the digital garbage bin, as it were. You can't buy Project Cars 2 anymore, so might as well use them here. And it's a really nice conversion, definitely graphically, a few quirky things with the AI, but it's been fun. And we'll see how far up the grid I can get. I haven't been able to win one of these yet, but I've had a good time doing it. And thought I'd bring you along for the ride. So we'll wind our way through. We're actually on the short course version of Rouen. I had never raced on this version, maybe a couple laps randomly at some point, but it's been a lot of fun. Definitely matches these two cars a bit better because this Corvette is so fast in a straight line. We'll come into the final corner though, second gear. It's a bit spread out, but that might work out better here. So we'll come through that final turn. Green is out, I can hear it there. We'll slide it on through, pedal to the middle, we're underway. Grab fourth gear here as we head down towards the first corner, sneak on past one of the Porsches. They're like sitting ducks compared to this V8. A little bit late on the turn in there though, but now wind our way down the hill. It's a really fast and flowing section down to third gear for this left-hander. Just want to watch out for the curbing on the inside and the outside of the track. We've got cold tires and full fuel as well. We'll come down to probably the most iconic part of this track, the famous hairpin. Take it nice and easy here on this lap, down to third gear. So everybody's going to stack up in front, watch for some fireworks. Hay bales everywhere, bouncing out of the way. We'll snake our way through. Not so bad. Seen worse through there. AI love to stack up on the first couple of laps. Once we get going, it's not too bad. The AI are definitely the roughest part about this conversion, but they're a lot of fun to race, and driving this car was a jump on the curb there. Driving this car is so much fun anyway that it's definitely good enough for a 20-minute sprint race. So we'll slide around, get it up the hill now. It really is just a country road. Looks a lot like the roads from where I'm from. So we'll tag the end of Mr. Toblerone in front here. A little kink to the right. And the Grand Prix track would continue on straight here, but we're going to veer off to the right. I'll try to sneak past a couple of these Porsches. Get up the inside of Haywood at least. This first right-hander really closes up. It's a late apex. Get it back up to third gear. We'll come pretty much equal to the left then. I really love the highway section on the full course, but for these cars, this is not a bad pairing. And I think they raced these types of cars here in the last years that this circuit ran into the 1970s. Break it down for the final corner. It's really easy to miss this one if you lock it up. Try to find some kind of apex over the cowling of the monstrous Corvette. It's actually quite a small car in size, but in personality, it's quite large, I think. Flat on the front stretch, come across the line. All right, P22, maybe 21 now, 18 minutes to go. We'll see how far up I can get. Oh, I got somebody on the grass in front. Just third gear for just a minute there. Let the engine help slow the car down. It's just a 4-speed. So the gears themselves, you definitely use them all around here, but it's not a lot of shifting for an H-pattern car. All right, get it down from second all the way to first. It's so hard slowing down for this corner, so try to keep it on the outside. We got one Corvette off, kicking over some tires there as we come across the cobblestones. Whoa, a bit of knock of the bodywork there. I think these cars were made out of fiberglass, so I'm not sure if that would crack the shell or not. Keep it in third this time, through this left-hander. Whoa, the car in front gets loose. That was cool. Trying to take advantage of that mistake. He's going to block me. There's some of that AMS2 AI. Really love stuff like that. It's little mistakes. The little mistakes are what you want. I hate when cars just totally blow corners. Although that happens in real life, the small mistakes are the things that you see a lot more. And it's fun to have the AI be able to do. jump up the inside. They are, of course, just a little bit slow overall as I'm making quick work of some of these guys out back. We got some cones on the track. Whoa, side to side with that Porsche. He just held on to it there. That was good. Pretty much always drive the Porsche in these cars, but I've been watching a ton of these. I'm sure you've seen them, the YouTube channels, or folks find old cars in a garage or abandoned in the woods, some truck that's been flooded for 30 years, and somehow they're able to get it running, kind of restored and stuff. And man, I've been watching so many of those. I just wanted to drive something angry and American, and this fits the bill quite nicely. Come out onto the main stretch then. Love the Martini Porsche though. That's my usual ride for this set of cars. Right up against that pit fence on the inside. Already up to 15th. Take the spot on the inside there as we'll come down to this left-hander. This is one of the easiest corners to run wide on. Won't be surprised if I challenge that at some point during this race. I just love how soft the suspension is in this car. They did something to improve this car. As I got one car into the fence up ahead. Just saw him run wide there. Sneak up the inside across the cobblestones. I think this was always cobblestones, even up to the very end of the circuit. Accelerate away over all the patchwork on the road. Yeah, they did something to improve the feeling of this car, like they did with all of them not too long ago with that 1.5 update, but a bunch of folks were telling me you got to try the Corvette, and I'd driven it just a little bit prior to the patch. It's never been my kind of thing, kind of the point and shoot, but oh man, it's so slidey and fun. The Porsche is quite quirky to drive, as we'll make easy work of that one. Quite quirky to drive like Porsches usually are. Wants to swap ends on you if you don't treat it right in the corners. This one is a lot more forgiving. You can just get used to the braking. Keep it on the inside there. Like with a lot of older cars, you just want to brake in a straight line, get all your braking done before you turn. Bit of speed there, but I can't do anything with it. The Porsche just sat in the road. It's such a wide car. There we go. Get around him on the inside. Should be able to take this left-hander flat now that the tire's up to temperature. Just want to brake nice and early. There's no brake marker around 300, but that's where I wanted to brake this thing. Make sure I get this corner right. Slow in, fast out. That's the best way with this car. Like I said, I think it's a bit of a gray area. Oh, it's the car in front up on the grass there. He's going to lock it up somehow, keep it on. I don't think I could do that, but they're able to get away with it. So trying to make a move coming here down to the hairpin. This is tricky, so you can't really do the brake in a straight line thing here because you're always turning. Remember, Grand Prix Legends was my first real exposure to Rouen, probably a lot of you all. And it was one of the trickiest tracks because getting the cars, as he gets onto the dirt, we'll get a good run here. Getting those 67 Grand Prix cars in Grand Prix Legends with the default physics slowed down for that hairpin is one of those challenges that everybody has to go through. It's a tricky one. That track is like a mile wide compared to this version of it. This is much more like it was in real life. Very, very narrow, just public road. Very much your quintessential road circuit. But yeah, I learned this track in Grand Prix Legends. Lovely track. I just think of Fangio and Moss and Ascari going through that hairpin with their Maseratis and Ferraris and things. Get up the inside here. Push the 58 out wide. Two red cars side by side. Bit, just accelerate coming out. There we go. Yeah, they're a bit more like moving chicanes with the way the AI are. I have them on 120%, maximum aggression, just maxed out. Provide a little bit more like something to try to get around as you work your way to the front, but it is fun. It's been so hot up here in New England where I live that doing anything longer than a 20-minute race just isn't going to work lately. So something like this is perfect. We've got 11 minutes to go, P7 now. Might actually be able to pull this off. We'll see. The Gulf liveried Porsche in front. A bit wide in front of me. I'm going to get a good run coming out, block the racing line there. Just want to be careful on the brakes here. It's very, very easy to back yourself into the corner. Make a bit of contact with the nose. It's all right. Par for the course at Rouen. Bottleneck behind him. This is my favorite passing spot, it seems. Accelerate out of that right-hander. Just run up the inside. The Porsche just can't stick with it. It is interesting how mismatched these cars are. I'm begging Ryza to release at least one more model. I think the BMW CSL Batmobile style would be my preference. I wouldn't argue about a Ford Capri as well, or really any of them. Pantera, De Tomaso would be cool. Any of the Power and Glory / GT Legends 70s cars. Just something else. One more to mix it up. And maybe balance them a bit, although I know these cars were very different in their qualities. It just feels like the Corvette's a lot faster than the Porsche is. But they're still a lot of fun. I always come back to these cars as kind of my go-tos. They're not the most popular things, at least from a what people like to watch perspective. But I think for drivers, for folks that really like racing, is we'll squeeze there on the inside. I feel like they're kind of the perfect car to scratch that itch. Right up behind this Miller car in front, it's much like a Penske, like a 1980s Rick Mears style Penske. Pennzoil and all. Love the skin set. It's from Race Department. It adds a lot of just authenticity, I feel like, to the cars. Most of them are real, inspired by real Porsches and Corvettes, but there's some kind of fictional ones like the car in front. I still think it looks really nice. But yeah, it's interesting. Racing on Project Cars 2 circuits, I'm a little conflicted because I'm definitely not somebody that advocates for any kind of piracy of any kind, but these tracks, all that content, the stuff from Project Cars 2 is kind of dead at this point. You can't buy the game anywhere. And doesn't necessarily give you the right to convert it, but nobody's trying to make money off of this. We're just trying to have fun with cool cars and stuff. So hopefully it is let slide and we can continue to have fun stuff like this, because this track is absolutely beautiful and great for these style of cars. So slide up the inside there. Call that Rick Mears. Rocket Rick's trying out a heavy Corvette. Back myself into the corner there. Chasing one car in front. I don't know if this is the leader. I haven't looked at the pit board each time I've gone by. Get it up to fourth gear here. A lot of flames from that car in front. Just slide it through the final corner there. I see brake lights way up ahead, so that might actually be the leader, but we'll see what position I'm in this time by. Across the line here. So up to P3, so it's P2 in front, and then the leader is somehow way ahead. Tricky spot to pass this, though, coming down to the second turn. They put chicanes here in later years down this hill to slow the cars up a bit. And these roads are still here these days. You can see some remnants, I think, of the chicanes and a few of the other things, but the track definitely gone at this point. Not run race cars here since the late 70s, I believe. very famous home of Formula One. I'm happy they included this track with Grand Prix Legends as the French Grand Prix instead of the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. I think it's just a much better example of a French Grand Prix circuit. It's in my mind the quintessential French Grand Prix circuit. I'm not sure if there's too much argument there. Reims as well is another one of those classics, but for driving, especially in a sim, you've got to think that this is a much more fun experience. Sun's getting nice and low now. I do have it on 10 times acceleration. Just will not quite get the run there. Try to back up this corner and get a run coming out. There we go. Side by side for the spectators. Down to third gear. He's going to try to hold it in there, man. There we go. Dancing all over the pedals. Definitely not driving this thing smooth. I think it would be really tough to get smooth at this car around this course. It's so bumpy here. That's what's amazing about it. Everything about this, except for the AI, is perfect. I think the track looks amazing. It drives amazing. Fits right in the game. It's installing it's a AMS2 mod, so it's not the easiest thing in the world. This will lock him up. Whoa. I'll break myself into the final corner. There's my third place right behind me. Oh, he's gonna have a bit of a run down the front stretch. Almost blew away the whole race there. 5 minutes to go, P2. He's gonna let me have it down the front stretch on the inside. If the brakes are heating up. It felt a lot harder to brake that time for the final corner. I'll back it up a little bit more this time. Should be able to pull away from the car behind. Now that I've got the whole road I can use. It's just about not overdoing it for yourself. Down to first gear here. Try not to spin the car out, light them up. Some crazy skid marks coming out of the corner. That's exactly how the 1950s Grand Prix cars would do that corner. Watch some videos of them. They're sliding all over the place coming out of it. Just so hard to get the power down, especially with those skinny tires that they had. Just keep my eye on that mirror behind the cars, looking towards the inside. I should be able to pull away up this hill. Ooh, as long as I don't make a mess of it like that. Down just a little bit. Sometimes driving a little slower, a little more smooth is actually faster. We'll wind our way across the short circuit here. Just missed the apex to the inside. It's all right. There's only 3 gears, and honestly, you could keep it in third gear through a lot of this, get it up to fourth gear. There's so much torque in this engine. 7-liter engine, it's like 500 horsepower, I think. Brake a little earlier, a little harder this time. Down to second gear. Man, it's so hard to slow it down. Yeah, it's really designed to go fast in a straight line. Such an outrageous car, but you gotta love it. All right, 3 minutes to go, P2, and I saw the leader up there, but he is quite far up the road. Oh, I just saw the taillights disappear around the corner. Second, down to first, just wagging around the whole way down the hill, hoping it slows down. Reminds me of driving the 55 cars around a track like this with the brake fade mod that's in Grand Prix Legends. Oh, I think I'm reeling him in, but it's going to be a little too late. We'll turn on the lights here for the final lap and a half or so. What an experience this is. It's so much fun. There's something really special about period cars on a period circuit, and I feel like AMS2 with Rise is one of the few sims that truly gets that. Although this isn't a track that they released, I think one of the reasons folks are so quick to convert something like this to the sim is because it fits so well. The Formula Junior cars would be perfect around this. It's probably what I'm going to do next. But also the Grand Prix cars themselves around the full version with the highway. I'd be interested to see how that would be. So we'll wind our way here. I think we're going to have one more lap to go. Or maybe two. I think it might time run out and then give us the final lap. Get that downshift a second a bit earlier to help slow the car down. A lot of engine braking. The car skips wide a little bit on the bumps. You can just see the leader in front of me here. Like 1 minute to go on the clock. Just floor it, the car would spin out. You'd also just immediately hit the rev limiter. You could kind of half throttle. It's kind of awkward. This car could even maybe use longer gears here, especially if I was to run the full circuit. Using third and fourth mostly. We come down to second for this left-hander. Sun in your face a little bit there, but gosh, does it look good. Wrestling the car around. I hope I've got one more lap because I might be able to catch him. It's like threading a needle around here with this car. Just the circuit's so narrow. I'll keep it in third through this right-hander this time. Might be a bit quicker. Back down to second for the left-hander. Finally found some sort of apex there. Dance the car sideways, get it up to fourth gear. Oh, if I got one more lap, just cross your fingers. I really hope I've got one more. All right, come to the line. Sun's fully dipping behind the trees now. Come across the line. 0 minutes left. I think this is the final lap then. So we'll head on down the hill. Game on. A couple of American cars sliding through the French countryside. So headed to the bottom of the hill. Be daring to try to make a pass here. Just get through the hairpin. Down to third gear. Down to second. Down to first. Kick of dust from the car in front, slide it on through. A little bit too much there. Oh, he makes a little mistake in front. It's going to slow him up quite a lot. He's going to block the inside though. Squeeze our way in anyway. Down to third gear. It's a tough place to hang around the outside. That was so cool. Get it up to fourth gear then. Up the corner, the right-hander, maybe get the run. Yep, get side by side. Tough place to go side by side though. Oh, squeeze him into the barrier. Give him the old thumbs up out the window there. Sure he'll appreciate that. All right, run away though. Man, I absolutely love this. A lot of fun doing it. I kind of just want to jump in and do another one. It's the third or fourth race I've done with this so far. Third one I've finished. And yeah, I think I'll come right back to it. I hope more stuff continues to come out for AMS2, because even if it's just for an evening or something, having this kind of fun is just something I'm not doing elsewhere right now. Whoa, get it on the grass there. We'll come across the line, worst to first. Maybe the most legitimate win, or not the most legitimate win, but a ton of fun. Love this stuff. Rouen, It's from Project Cars 2. You can find it pretty easily Googling around and stuff. And yeah, continue. I hope more stuff comes out. I hope Ryza releases more cars for this, and as ever more tracks and all that. I'm sure there's a lot of cool stuff to come. But yeah, as the sun sets here at Rouen, this is GP Laps, and I'll see you all again next time.